So today we got a 2008 Yukon, and we are going to do a fuel pump job on this puppy. This is a Denali, but this will be the same on Tahoes, Yukons, Escalades, Suburbans, you know, the whole smorgasbord. Here we go. I'm going to spice this in here at the beginning of the video. This is going to make a ton of sense later when you see what happens when you forget. But if your fuel pump isn't dead and is still working, make sure you do this before you start your project. This is not the Yukon I'm working on in the video. I forgot to record it after. But this is a Avalanche I have out here with a drop valve I'm waiting to hear about. It runs just terribly. So what you're gonna want to do is go pull the cover to your fuse panel, which this one's just missing in general. And then this fuse right here, this 20 amp fuse up in the corner, this is for the fuel pump control module. You're going to remove this fuse and then we're gonna start it and let it run out of gas. And that will drain the pressure off of the lines. So that way you don't have the same experience I do coming up in this video where you spray fuel all in your face and all over yourself. So yeah, make sure you do that first and then continue on with what we're doing here. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's take a walk back here. You're gonna want to get it up in the air. If you don't have a lift, put it on jack stands. You're gonna do this on your back. It's gonna be terrible, but it can be done. So step number one is if you come in from the backside here over the axle, we need to remove the filler neck, which is a 8mm on a hose clamp, and this little Evap line. So for this line, let's see if I can get this on camera here. You're gonna reach up, you'll reach up and you'll squeeze. So I'm squeezing the two squared off ends here. So you'll squeeze that to get the little teeth to come out, and then you pop it off. It can be quite a booger, so you know, just be patient with it. I'm gonna actually use two hands so I can see it, but we'll get that off, and then we'll pull that filler neck off. There's a fancy tool for hoses like that. I'll show you. I don't need it on this one. I actually did this job once already, but the seal on the pump is not good, so I need to pull it back down and check it. But you take one of these hooks, you push this in around the edge, and then you can ream it if it's stuck on there, and that will loosen the hose. It works for radiator hoses, but it works for filler necks too. So if your hose is stuck, that is how you do it. I will also put a link for that and for a fuel pump in the description and right up here in the video. So if you got time, you want to order that puppy off Amazon, that helps us out. But alas, I will get those two things off, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so there we go. We got both lines off. It was easy on my side just because I recently got that filler neck off. But that puppy right there is going to be quite a struggle for you, most likely. You can, even if you get it to a real conundrum, use the weight of the tank as you lower it if you really just can't get it off, and then that will start to pull it off. You can wiggle it off from there, but you got to make sure you support it well with a jack underneath, which, you know, we're going to get there once we're ready. But in my case, they're both off, and hopefully you got yours off good. So now we're going to move up to this charcoal canister, which is way up there. I'm going to step underneath the rear axle here, and we'll try and get a different angle on it. But with the spare tire in place, it's kind of hard to show. But if you step right up here on this side underneath, this is where you will come to reach all the fittings. So this one, I do believe you can probably see, we got a little white clip right there. So we need to pull, you know, stick your finger up in there and kind of press it down, and that clip will disengage in the downward direction. We're gonna move back over here just so you can see. So now you're looking from this side, you'll see the one in the middle has a red clip. So when I reach up in there, I'll grab it from my fingers, and I'm gonna do it from the backside, and I'll push it up, and that clip will also click up and detain. And then the big fitting over there with the white top, that one is the same style that the little one was over here, just a bigger version of it. So you're just gonna squeeze the side of it and gently wiggle it off until you get the teeth to de-grip. So we need to get all three of those lines off. And then so let me do that real quick, and we will pick up from that point. I just want to show you this real quick. I did lie to you a little bit about these connectors up here. Let me see if I can get a view. Here we go. So on this one, you don't need to release it at the top. You just get your finger on the bottom and squeeze from the bottom side in the upward direction. It will pinch, and that will allow it to release. So there we go. We get all three of these lines off here. So let me move to the front of the tank. So if you follow the drive shaft up, right underneath this cross member, you can look up, you will see there's a fuel line here. So you need to take both your fingers underneath and just kind of work it up until it undoes, just like the red one. It'll pop up like that. Once you get that, you can carefully pull them apart just like that. So now there's one more fuel line left before this tank's ready to come down. You have to reach up like through this hole, and the fuel line is right on the other side of it. Don't know. Whoa, dropped the camera, but I caught it. Saw those reflexes. Let me see if I can shove a light up there. That one, you can start to drop the tank, but I'll show you. So if you look here, the fuel lines are plastic coming back, and they don't have a whole heck of a lot of wiggle room. So like, you can flex it down about, you can flex it down about that far. So you can't get a whole lot of movement out of it before you risk breaking it. So I just shove my hand up in this hole. Let me see if I can get it for you. There should be a fuel line right there somewhere, and you just do it all by feel and get the clip out and then pop it loose. Right up on the side of the frame rail here, that's where you're gonna put your hand. Once you get that free, we're ready to drop the tank out of this puppy. So here we are, and at the beginning, we've made it there, and I am covered in gasoline, and I forgot to drain the fuel lines. So all that fuel came on top of me. When I pulled that line apart, just gushed all down my arm from on top of the tank. It's all down my front side. I smell like a freaking gas refinery. Goodness, dude. It's always something, I'm telling you, it's always something. And it's always my fault for being dumb. Anyway, here we go, we continue. Everything is disconnected on the tank. It's got a lot of fuel on the bottom. And yeah, so we are going to now put a jack underneath the center to support it, which I have a transmission jack. If you're on the ground, you're gonna use a floor jack, which, like I said, doing this job on the ground is terrible, but it can be done. The owner of this vehicle is got to be in his mid to late 50s at least, and he did this on his back in his own garage not that long ago, and I am doing it again, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, it can be done. So here we go. If you follow the strap over, we got a 15 millimeter there. We got a strap back here. That strap also has a 15 millimeter. So I'm gonna get this supported. We're gonna take those straps out. We're gonna pull them out. Now this tank has to come down in the back and then out like this, or up in the back and slide this top out, because it is over the top of this rail. So you kind of got to just work it in at an angle. But we're gonna see if we can't get this puppy to plop down real quick. All right, here we are. Tank is down. So you'll see I took the straps off. After you unbolt them, if you've never done it before, you just slide them out. That little groove right there, just get them out of your way. Again, make sure you have it supported before you unbolt those. And also, again, you got to kind of rock it out of there. And you can do this with a floor jack on the ground. You just put a big block of wood under there and use a floor jack to lift it. But it's a lot easier on the lift with a tranny jack, no doubt. So here we are, the last step before we're ready to pull this fuel pump. We need to get these two plugs off. So you got this little gray retainer clip, you pull that back and then squeeze at the top, pull that off, and then this one has a depressor right there where my thumb is, so you just pull that off as well, and voila, here we go. And they give you tons of extra slack on that wire, so you can drop it pretty far before you got to do that. And if you look here on mine, this is why we're in here. That fuel pump seal is leaking. It's all wet around it. Dag nabbit. So I'm gonna drop it down and I'll show you how to pull this fuel pump out, because I gotta reseal that one. All right, I'm gonna try and do this on my tranny jack. Hopefully it will stay balanced and I won't have to like try and lift this heavy bastard and put it on the floor. But step number one, in order to get this pump out, so you're going to grab this little tab right here, pull that, flip it over so we can get these lines out. So you'll notice these two lines are just like the fuel lines up top or on the other end. So you just push up and squeeze in and push up from the bottom till it clicks up. This one is the same style, question mark. looks like it. Yep. Pull that one all the way out. And this one is just like the big Evap line where we got to squeeze it. So we're going to squeeze the very end of it like that and pull it off. Boom. Now we got to get these lines off. Get them out of here. Make it a little easier. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here's one. Oh, that was the one that was pressurized that just doused me, man. You can hear it. Yeah, that means that's the sending line, which means this yellow one, or this white one here is the return line, I guess. Yeah. Yep. Anywho, so now we got these lines free, so we can kind of scoochy them out of the way like that. Now, the next part, you're going to want to be very careful, but we're going to put a flathead screwdriver in this notch. We are going to bang this ring and rotate it. Especially if you're like me, I'm going to wipe this down with paper towels real quick. And we're going to try not to make any sparks, because that would be bad. Real bad. Alright, so I'm sitting in the office right now putting this video together. I want to put this in verbally as well as with the text before. If you are removing the fuel pump, whenever you're knocking the ring, if you have a brass punch, that is what you were supposed to use. I thought I mentioned that, but I didn't. Brass doesn't spark, or rubber also will work. It's not smart to do what I did here with just regular steel screwdriver. A lot of people like myself do it, but yeah, to be safe, use some sort of rubber, plastic, or brass. Brass is preferred to remove a fuel pump retaining ring. Just want to make sure I've said that. It's dangerous to do what I did here. Alright, I'm going to try and leave you here, and hopefully you can see it. Just in case it goes kaboom, or, you know, the tank flips or some crazy nonsense for the ridiculous stuff I'm doing. But this really is the process that you typically use to get these rings off. It's just a lot sketchier with a bunch of gas around it. So I'm going to tap it, and this pump in particular is spring loaded. It's ridiculous, dude. So when I get this free, it's most likely gonna pop up, but let's take a look and see what happens. So there we go, simple as that. I'm getting the retaining clip off. Then you take this clip, scoochy it over the top like that, and now your fuel pump is ready to come up. So you just kind of grab it and wiggle it. For some reason this one's like bound, but I need to get that seal better under it. I might be able to just push it around and do it. But yeah, you basically just grab it and wiggle it and it will pop up. Alright, I've decided to remove the silly pump because I can't seem to make sure I get the O-ring right. So I pried it up here a little bit. You can see it started to release. Oh, there it went. There's that spring action I was telling you about. So it seems like the seal is just slightly too big. So if you look, in the case of mine, I got this O-ring. It needs to ride in this channel down here, but it's like it's been stretched too far. Also, if you're pulling your pump to change your pump, you have a line in the tank from here and from over here. Not sure if you can see that right there and right there. You need to squeeze those and remove those, and then be careful of the float arm. As you take it out, you're going to tilt it. But for me, I just need to get this gasket right. That's about it. That's all you got to do. Once you get that thing pushed back in location, like I said, it's a bugger. If you get frustrated, walk away from it for a second and then pick back up. But it's doable. You just got to make sure you get it pressed down in the right location, and it will sink all the way down. That about wraps it up. The video helped you out. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more, and obviously be careful when you fish it back up in there. But you'll get it back up and connect the plugs on the pump on your way up, obviously, and then stab it, bolt it up, and then connect all your lines, and you got a new fuel pump.